tongue comes out purple, and he removes a little bit of the cloak to reveal his full snake face. What are they called? Earrings that attach via chain to where his nostrils would be located. You see, as he looks around, he and my followers are coming, and it is too late. Maybe you can get to Bellevue before it's fully taken. And his tongue comes out again and slithers back in. And as the smoke evaporates, you see in the distance a bright light appear and tear across the sky, just being illuminated over the tops of the trees where Bellevue is located west of where you are. And you see a rip. And you see blue and purple lights. And the face vanishes. And a poof of misty smoke is now in place of where all the snake creatures were.
Bring back the other guy.
As you scream into the sky to no.
Bring back the other guy! I have questions!
The dead snake guy in front of me disappeared as well?
No, his dead body is there.
Is there?
Yes, all the dead bodies you guys have seen have not vanished. But any living ones, the one directly across from Unico, into a mist.
I am very butthurt.
You are.
I don't know what you got planned, but I know on my character's mind, I would want to go and look for that sword that the guy he fought had.
Oh, sure.
That sword caught my eye.
So if it caught your eye in the like real time, as he was sliced in half and you saw his body start to split, you see his sword.
Yeah.
Oh, as it was a magically summoned sword.
Oh,
so sorry.
Would have been cool if it was like a magic handle.
Yeah.
Like lightsaber kind of
that
thing.
would have been very cool.
Yeah.
But no, it's like a summoned sword.
Yeah, like conjure weapons
When
in
he
Skyrim.
got
or whatever.
We'll find one day.
Oh, that's very cool.
Well, that's a cool relic. I want it.
I bet you do. I love that.
It didn't work out for him very well, though, so it's probably a poopy sword.
Yeah, very true.
It's interesting, though.
Yeah. And you guys are now out of combat in any legitimate way outside of there being danger of still needing to escape from this town.
I mean, the whole town's on fire.
Correct. There's fires. The big fire in the distance is now starting to quell a bit as you guys you just have that bright light in the sky over Silver Springs. You guys see this also.
Okay.
As I imagine you guys are entering into what's now mixed Fae and Silver Springs kind of intertwined. Almost as if you were and correct me if I'm wrong, Cricket, as you kind of venture into the river, you get this Amazon jungle feel. As you guys were coming in, that is really what it felt like. But now, as you're traveling through, you get Amazon jungle, but then you also get a feeling that some of the trees are thicker and house life. Like actual people and things live in this forest on the Fae side. And the worlds are still kind of, in this particular area, very much so locked in a perpetual state of, I'm here, but I'm also there. And as you guys are traveling in, you can see people buttoning up their curtains. And then your next set is just dark woods. And then you see people kind of huddling behind a couple satyrs. And you see finally in the distance, as it's the only thing that you're curious about, you see the portal gate. And you see your friend kind of looking in your direction. And you see him make a hand signal. And a small E is created in the sky, or in his right above his hand. And he turns around and ventures back into the Fae.
And we're just letting the river take us. We're not
Correct.
really like actively paddling. We're
Correct.
just kind of letting the river.
Without a doubt, letting the river take you. In
Okay.
front of you, you can
Okay.
see and hear torches and people kind of talking about the shit that just happened.
And I look down in the water and I see a mermaid and a manatee swimming side by side.
Just like that, yes. Oh my gosh,
I'm
exactly.
not mad at it.
No, for sure. And some of the, as you look up into the trees, some of the imps that were up in the trees on the Fey side, as the light kind of shifts from the purples and greens in the sky, you can see monkeys in the tree.
No.
And then as you further down, you see imps in the tree. And then further down, you see monkeys in the trees. Just a piece of information about the monkeys. You see them always with some sort of mallet made of wood with a kind of stone attached to it. And they're always watching the river. It's just a weird thing that you notice.
Like
monkeys
monkeys
are-
do.
The monkeys. The imps not so much. But the monkeys, absolutely. And you notice them on the way in, too.
What?
Do they
Like
seem interested at all in
Cranky
this
Kong
squirrel?
with the
Like who?
Cranky Kong, the old Donkey Kong
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
His
Very
cane.
much
Yeah.
so.
They are?
Very much
Out of
so.
character, is this like something in reference to Ocala?
This is something
Yeah.
reference to Ocala.
Okay, I'm new to
Yeah.
so
I don't know what it is either.
This is
Really?
Yeah, she's new to
We're-
Ocala
I only got
also.
here like
Don't
2
worry,
months ago.
Cricket and I will take you on a river adventure.
So in Silver Springs, actually here in Ocala, the Ocala was, the Silver Springs area was used as a scene in Tarzan. If not a scene, the entire Tarzan movie, the old one. Like the old... not-
Johnny Weissmuller.
Yeah, baby! Like the old school Tarzan movie where the was like it came from.
Yeah.
And they flew in monkeys from Africa. I was saying, I could be wrong about the African thing. I think it is
Where
Africa.
monkeys come
And
from.
and they got out and they populated and they could not get all of them. So our Silver Springs is populated with monkeys that will throw poop at you.
And they are not nice.
They will they'll hover
Shut
over
up.
you in
No-
your
no
canoe.
way.
This is not a joke. Go quick kayaking
They're not
on
a poop
the
attack.
Silver Springs River.
Sully, good news.
You will see
We have an
monkeys.
extra kayak for you.
You will
Because
see
we have an
monkeys.
extra kayak
We
for
have a
you.
kayak.
We have an
Wait,
extra
But
kayak.
we haven't seen any monkeys yet.
Oh,
We will
go out.
take
I've
y'all
seen
out.
monkeys. I've been out 3 times. I've seen monkeys twice.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, very cool. Legit.
That
They
is
sit up there and they
insane.
watch you.
What's
Shut
the
right
thing?
up.
You said
That's
they're
so
holding
I have a
something.
kayak.
Sure,
What's that?
the stick with the rock on the end, that's an in-game
So is
thing.
the,
I think that
uh,
means
that's
that they're
not-
not completely
So as we're
nice.
floating down
Okay.
this river,
In my mind, that is that. Yes.
So as we're floating down this river, is the Fae fading out or is it staying?
Staying.
It's staying.
And especially, like, you've been here, man.
Mm.
You've experienced this. You've come in and watched your friend take lead and control of this structure.
Mhm.
And this was the first time it's ever gone bad, and it's on you a little bit, but, like, you are following Zixie, so you don't care quite as much.
So like, but like the portals should, but like the world should be fading, but
Should
now
be
they're
fading,
not.
and now it's not.
Ooh.
Okay. I
Concerns.
I am doing a heckin' concern.
Big
Concerns.
concerns.
Is there
I'm probably not. I don't really
guard
understand.
here?
There is no town guard here. This is like the smallest of the smallest town. No
Okay.
one even comes here.
So like,
Just a
so we're
year
coming down
outside
with,
of
like,
this yearly
doing
celebration.
Agreed.
Okay.
I avoid the shores all the time.
Oh, so we're coming into the shores.
You are leaving the shores, going into Silver Springs, the actual river, Amazon, jungle-y kind of thing.
And like, so we're with like a bunch of refugees and boats. And
They are all not so. There's a pretty long river, so it'll take some time to go through the winding river and come out the other side. But you guys
in
are.
what direction was the big bolt of Bellevue from us? Do we see it ahead of us?
It
or we
is
heading towards
directly. Yeah, you're heading directly towards it, but it'll be behind you at some point, and then it'll be back in front of you.
I
at
kind of
some
feel
point.
like it just as that happens, like they're looking up at the bolt, and it kind of pans over to us, and it's just like you see it in the sky, and the three of us are like all look up at the same bolt, and we're just kind of like we all know that's the direction we have. to
Sure.
head.
Fudge yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Any additional pieces of information you guys want out at this very moment before I zoom back to the other three?
I feel like. Oh, go ahead.
No, you can.
Roll initiative.
Fight to the death for it.
But I would like to tell my squirrel, but we're pretty close to the shore, or
You're
are
like
we-
10 feet on that side, 10 feet on that side.
Oh, really?
But you could easily just shift your boat over to the right if you wanted.
Ben could like stick one wing in and just kind of flip us over just a little bit, so we could. Well,
That's
'cause
how
I was
you
gonna-
tell.
Trying to
That's how
find
you do
space
big
for my
stuff.
wings as
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
adjusting the wings, like
right.
coming in and then coming out, and like trying to find a way where she can like spread them and not bump anyone.
I was gonna see if I could send a couple of my squirrel boys up in the trees along the bank to just kind of scope it for us. We saw that big light and it was like, ooh, something might be going on over there. And my squirrel boys are real good at like hopping and climbing real high and fast and scoping. And we're not moving that fast. The river's like what 5K an hour or something. Yeah. So I would like to see if my new friend could maybe like get us closer to the shore, and I can like. And I'm going to definitely send the squirrel boy that Cricket healed because he is like buff now. Beefcake squirrel.
I feel like
He's
he
going to be the
almost like
fastest one.
has like a little bit of like a fey creature to it since
Sure.
he's been healed by fey magic. He almost is like all sparkly and everything.
His eyes are like,
So, like,
or
if
like
you
he's
can
just
get
got like
it
a
out.
shimmer to his cloak
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
sure,
Glow in
sure.
the dark
And so-
eyeballs now.
Yeah. But I have to tell them, go into the trees, but avoid the monkeys.
I'm so glad you said that because I was going to hopefully use that against you.
I love to avoid the
Good
monkeys.
job. No, excellent.
My little squirrel boys.
As the boat kind of gets closer to the edge, you kind of lay a hand out, making like a little tiny bridge as they tick, 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 and jump over, tick, tick, and jump over. The bigger one kind of leading the group along the side. You see them for a little bit, and then they kind of jolt into the forest and just go taking off up a tree. And you lose eyesight on them for a little while. As you guys continue to head straight, you see the river start to bend, and you know that where it's bending, Bellevue is still that way. And in your mind, they are heading towards Bellevue. You may be attempting to catch them on the other side, so they may not be back for a little bit. Kind of what I'm saying.
We didn't send all the squirrel boys. though.
Just the big guy.
Yeah.
Just the big
Just
guy.
him and
By
the baby.
The guy who
and
can
the baby.
Just
choke
the,
a monkey.
the like
Yeah.
the hot
I think it's a
sword.
Christmas.
It's
Super
super
down.
Sure, cool. You sent two of them. So we have two left with you on the boat.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we have
Are they still
a,
like nesting on?
I don't know. Have they moved over to you
You've got-
or?
I told them to hang with her and
You
make sure
did?
that
Okay.
her quiver was all well stocked and keep her. Yeah. So they're hanging with you.
do you want to have
I
do you
think-
want to name the big boy, or do you want to have like a guest
Oh.
poll or a Patreon or like a user poll on what the name of the big boy is going to be?
I mean, I would call him Biff, but you guys can
Biff.
definitely. What Biff?
I
Biff
love
squirrel.
that name.
So
I
we
love
do
this
have several Patreons that have recently signed on. We
Mm.
have a Charlie, we have a Nico, and was there an additional one I'm not thinking of that signed on recently?
Nope.
And Loper overseas. So it's your choice.
Loper squirrel boy.
Loper squirrel.
Perfect.
Can I have a derp squirrel?
Sold.
Not this squirrel cannot be Derp Squirrel.
Derp squirrel.
So
Loper.
sorry.
Can I have a Loper
It's
squirrel
literally
Loper's
boy?
a great name for a
I
squirrel.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
For a
Loper's a
buff
great
squirrel.
So Loper?
Loper squirrel boy.
If Loper
love
was
it.
the hot one for the table, now he's the hot one.
He's a hot squirrel. Beefcake Loper squirrel.
And you said I never did anything for you.
I
Aw.
thought I was the hot
You are.
one.
You are.
squirrel.
So freaking amazing. Great. Piece of business?
I feel like just like in this moment of quiet while they're kind of floating down the bayou and doing their thing or whatever. And she's been kind of takes in her surroundings for a minute, having just had like a really tumultuous last couple of weeks. She kind of looks at these squirrels that have now kind of like attached themselves to her, and just looks around and she kind of glances over to her crossbow, kind of takes it in for a minute and realizes, just kind of maybe like sort of talking to herself, just like, this stuff could be good too. Like I could also do this and be good.
Sure. Fantastic. I like to think that there's a moment where the squirrels are kind of like rummaging through your bolts and like they pick up one or like no, and they throw it over the
Yeah.
other.
She just kind of looks
That
fondly
was
and
it.
she's just
That would
like,
be one.
I gotta save these guys.
No, very cool. And as in that moment of realization with the squirrels, you are completely eyes like front to the portal. And as the boat gets close to the waters, to the edge of the land, you can jump off if you'd like.
I think that she takes one more, because, like, I guess, I don't know, however many minutes ago, everything seemed really dismal for her, where it's just like, what point is there to be here anymore? I've messed up so bad. There's, like, I'm such a bad person. Nothing could make this okay. Kind of looking at the squirrels and, like, these two people in the raft that also care about the squirrels and, like, finding this kind of companionship and realizing that the stuff that she excels in so much can actually be applied in a good way. And she kind of realizes, like, no, there is a reason for me to stay here.
Sure.
And she stays in the boat.
Perfecto. As we continue to head down, we make that curve in the bend, and we'll loop back to our town. You guys have ushered everyone towards the much larger boat. The individuals in the square all fit on this boat. If there's any other business in town you guys would like to accomplish, let me know now.
I was just gonna, be like, hey, is there any form of semi relationship with this gentleman over here, and say, hey, you obviously were
I trust this
able to
dude's life.
handle
Hell yeah.
your shit in this situation. Should we form like a quasi city watch to kind of go door to door, make certain that there's no more villagers? We can set up this area next to the dock as a staging area, just to make certain that there's resources collected for all these displays.
For sure.
Let's see if we can put this one safe house out. Stockpile anything we can.
You're right. Let's stockpile the alcohol. I'll take charge of that.
You
Get
seem
it on
like
the
the
boat?
you seem like the perfect guy for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can make sure I find every piece of it for us.
Is there an extra boat? Is there like
There is one large boat where you guys are. If you guys took
Great.
some time to investigate, further down towards the where the entrance of the city is, you'll find some additional rafts.
okay?
I just want to make sure that the people are gone from the.
So you're setting that larger boat a sail and pushing them out towards the individual.
If there's
while you
another boat
guys-
for us to get on, yes.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
After a little bit of investigation, I believe you guys will find this additional boat before you send them off.
Right.
Okay.
You do notice a lack of boats, though. Like a lot of people you hope have escaped. Is in your
Can I talk
mind.
to the people who are getting on the boat?
Yeah.
Okay, remember, you want to take water with you. Give me your alcohol. That's not going to help you. It'll
Roll
dehydrate.
persuasion check for me.
Oh, fuck. Sully's dad is disappointed.
That's a -4.
So,
6.
Nice. They unfortunately kind of like, and this is okay if you guys are okay with this thought process. You put you have 1 foot on the raft and 1 foot on the dock, and you're like, go ahead and hand it here. And as you're like reaching for it, you're pushing with your foot, and you begin to stretch almost in a snow. Perfect.
Are we standing there?
Behind
behind him,
I
or-
don't think you guys are anymore. I think you guys are investigating, either one of you investigating into town and one of you investigating the other boat situation, where he was set as the rendezvous guy.
Perfect.
yeah.
Left him and
So,
Yeah.
and I
We
know
know
you
where to
hit
go
water
back to, so it's
earlier.
fine.
Yeah.
I know you hit water earlier, but are you wearing armor?
No.
Okay, fantastic. Splash and you're
I'm wearing
now-
a very burnt cloak that
That's
looks
right.
fire retardant.
That's totally
What
right.
does
That's
what
totally
do
right.
you look like? I didn't really catch like a full on.
So I'm a very charcoal black looking guy with some weird burn lines in his face.
okay.
When I drink, my hair starts to go a little molten-y fiery, and some of those burn mark lines seem to flicker up a little bit, but they never seem to catch or anything. And I'm definitely
Sorry to interrupt. We heard from the network. You can't say that you're a charcoal black-looking guy.
It's racist. I'm a genasi.
Wait till the cameras go off and I tell you guys what his.
It's the legit.
No, it's not. Don't even bring it up anymore.
Broken.
Just continue.
Broken.
Why would you even bring that up?
Because he said that. And the group should know. So continue, sir.
My
description.
My
anything additional?
clothes are like very brown.
What happens when you get doused in water?
Whatever lingerings
Steam.
of like flaming sparks just get put out, and my
Does
hair.
that sober you up?
Oh, that'd be fun.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
I of a sudden need more alcohol.
And oxygen.
Like when you get
when you
alcohol
get to water,
first,
so
oxygen
you completely
second.
come to.
As you kind of pull yourself up, hung over of sorts, and needing more alcohol, you know where the tavern is located, which would more than likely have the booze you are looking for.
Tally ho.
Excellent. As you guys spend the next several moments, minutes, hours, however long it takes going door to door, you find no more snake people. You find no more remnants of snake people outside of anyone who died during the combat. You find a significant amount of dead. As you guys, what do you guys do with the dead when you find them?
I'd probably just try to get them into a respectable position, make certain they weren't I don't know, in any weird positions.
Sure.
Just something semi-respectful, and then move on.
Sure, but you're kind of dragging them out to the street, into their house at some point, or positioning them somewhere in town as a collection. Just curious.
I don't think I'd spend too much time on it,
Sure.
just because I don't know. As far as there's got to be other people alive, possibly.
Sure.
And as far as I know, there might be only 3 of us
Gotcha.
in the city.
So anybody kind of left in an awkward position, you just kind of straighten them up. You do the whole eyes closed thing and move on to the next person.
Semi-respectful.
Why are you wasting time with the
You're
dead?
not even there.
Yeah.
You're not even there. You're out of town.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that because,
Sure.
my character's seen plenty of towns
Sure.
absolutely obliterated. So nothing new. It's a Tuesday. You know what
Sure.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's a Tuesday.
So.
Level 1 was rough for you.
What was your campaign like?
Rough.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm more preoccupied with trying to find people
Sure.
than
And you guys do. You guys find the majority of people that you find are kids. There are a lot of people who they lost parents, or they were separated, or they lived in the shores and they just kind of weren't participating.
I think we would have probably left or tried to keep 1 or 2 or 3 semi-responsible looking people
Sure.
off of
Some
the boat,
older kids,
just to manage
ooh.
and send people we found back to them.
I think the best you have are older kids that you have
that's
found in homes. As you guys at the moment sent everybody you could away.
Right.
In my mind at the moment, maybe knowing this information, you would have gone back into that, but I believe you
that's
sent
fine.
everybody
Yeah.
to safety as far as you know. But you do find 2 older kids. They are they're elven of nature, so they may be even a lot older than they look, and you kind of assume that and give them some responsibilities.
Yeah.
What sort of information are you giving to them? What sort of responsibilities are you laying on them?
It'd be more of hey, this is the central gathering point. We're going to be sending anybody we find to you. Hold down this area. Just anybody we find, just get them a blanket and water and some hardtack or whatever.
Sure.
Supplies.
I'm just pretty much going to be walking through the streets get to the docks, get
Sure.
to the docks, opening up doors, get to the docks.
Sure, love it.
Anyone left in here?
Cool. I think you guys rescue a significant amount of kids, somewhere between 12 and 20, as you count, ranging from littles to kind of teenagey, and they all center around the dock now, populated by Cole and his kind of trunk of ale, a couple of casks. Literally, the amount of time you guys have spent out, there's no way he drank all this here by himself.
Yeah.
Impossible.
He's been recruiting these kids.
Goes to the tavern as a kid to the bar.
No.
I don't care what these other 2 fools told you. You're coming with me.
Yeah.
Grab this in. Actually, you know what? I'm not even grabbing it in. You 2 drag that.
So teaching him the tools of the trade.
Yeah.
So this is how you stick him with the dagger. This is how you cut the purse.
They're all playing flip cards.
When I get back to the dock, I'm I screwed up. I think this is worse. We should have left them.
It's fine. It's fine. They're alive. That's what matters.
Yeah, and they don't quite fit all on the leftover rafts. But if you piled everybody together and you took your time, you could, on the 3 or 4 rafts available, fit the remaining kids. and you clear the entire town. The fire just kind of ends on the large structure that was there, and like where the statue was completely still visible. As the fire goes out, the ash just
Can I
hits the
investigate that?
ground. Yeah, you want to go back over there for
Yeah.
sure.
I want to see if there's anything salvageable from it.
Hells yeah! Go ahead and roll
Good
me an
call.
investigation check as you approach. Actually, before advantage or disadvantage, roll me a Arcana check
I'm
first.
pretty sure that's like a +0.
Nice, good call, David.
That's what I would have. Flat 0. 12.
12. All right, go ahead and roll me your Arcana check. I mean, your investigation check at advantage.
That's also +0. 6.
But
3. 5.
Nice. Just ash, man. It's all you see around as you kind of you're kind of sloshing through with your feet, and just piling ash over ash. Eventually, it's
There's
just
no like pieces of wood or nothing left over.
no
just
piece
all
of
ass.
wood, nothing.
Ass.
Absolutely nothing. There's a couple instruments laying around of no seeming worth
Mhm.
that you can tell. You could beat up drums and different instruments.
I'm good with that. So I guess we'll head out.
The only
That's all
other thing
got.
I would have looked at was the archway and just see if there's like any fake creatures that were
Oh,
hanging around
sure.
that needed help.
Sure.
If they were fine and they're like, if they were investigating,
Yeah, I know. I feel like if you kind of peered from the wood line in, you could see the bright lit kind of tunnel, and you actually see the exchange happen between the fairy creature floating up, kind of like makes a hand signal in the direction of the river, and that was the kind of encounter that he had with fucking Cricket.
so that might have been one of the first things I
Yeah.
did. Sorry.
Did you
Trying
notice
so hard
Does he
all day.
notice the shape of the guy made the E? Does he notice
Roll
that?
a perception check. We'll see if you notice that because you're watching it.
I suck at rolling.
Sorry.
12.
Yeah, man. Bright lights. You see this entire thing happen. He kind of creates an E out of dust, and then and he turns around. And where you would like in most movies,
Mhm.
as he turned around and went into the Fae, you'd like see the doors close. The doors don't close.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dun dun
Can I
dun.
Yes.
investigate where Mulek showed up?
Sure. Yeah. As you were going towards the tavern, you'd stop over there. Go ahead and roll me a investigation check.
Natural 20.
Ooh. What are you trying to find out? Like, what would you like to know about that area?
I want to know where the source of this projection came from. I want to know what maybe it was made out of, and I want to know if there's any way to trace it.
With the natural 20, man, I wish that there was something that I could give you there, but it was thaumaturgy mixed with like some fancy wizardry that he's learned as his career as a magic user has progressed. But it came from the center of the fire. The fire now completely almost out, just kind of cindering. As you're peering in, I will tell you this. When the image was the most clear from your memory, you could see like in his braided beard, you could see different color kind of braided like strings that have like held the bottoms of the braids, and there was a red and a blue and a green and a purple and a yellow and a like a brown and a gray, and these kind of all came to a point. They're down at the bottom, and something significant about those little braids. Best I could give you, even though a natural 20 wasn't much information there.
Could I maybe have seen some of that or talked to him about it? I have a theory that my character kind of caught on real early in the night.
Sure.
So it happened immediately after the storyteller was telling some stories. So I didn't know if maybe like there was some connection between what happened in the storyteller. See if maybe you found anything out about her. Was she thrown
Yeah, did she
in the
live?
fire? Did she like activate the spell by throwing? I'm a pretty good Arcana. So,
Sure.
like a pretty good intelligence. So like I was thinking maybe like she activated that hologram through her
I did
storytelling.
want to track her down after that, but I forgot.
She was one of the people that you could put on the boat.
Yes, and I didn't stop her, but now after kind of like reliving all of the thoughts of the night, you know, I was like,
We need to find her.
my story collecting brain is a little bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Oh,
but I'm-
definitely. I love
Tinfoil
that.
hat
Yeah.
on.
She has valuable information about what happened here tonight, and I need to find out what exactly happened.
It was strange that it happened as she was telling the story.
And then she left.
Yeah.
No concern. Almost like she knew she was gonna get out of here alive.
Mm.
Yes.
I freaking love it. They are now several hours ahead of you, as it's taken some time to go door to door, compile these kids. So you guys push off and enter the stream. You guys notice the same kind of thing, this living forest kind of trapped between the Fey world and this one. The ground and the water kind of illuminated with Fey energy as you guys trail. Directly above, peeking through the wood line, you can see the lights getting brighter and brighter without actual daylight appearing, where daylight should have been here hours ago. As we zoom back to our other companions,
Can I interject with one
Yes.
thing? I want to lay on hands to heal him for the rest of his HP.
oh, wonderful. Cool.
Do you have?
I'll just sit here at my 4 HP, no problem.
No. Well, if you're hurt too, then I want to split 5 and 5.
I can heal myself.
What are you? Oh yeah, you second one.
No, I'm gonna do 5 and 5.
Okay.
Perfect. 5 and 5. You guys are now healed 5 and 5. As we jolt back to the other party, now coming around the other side, you hear, and you see as you kind of pull the boat over to the side again, and they kind of hop into the boat.
Loper?
Sorry.
Loper.
Oh yeah, Loper hops over into the boat. Absolutely.
It's like on top of my head.
And you hear him kind of regale the story of lots and lots of snake people. And they are kind of taking prisoners and causing a lot of havoc in Bellevue. And you guys are roughly a mile away from Bellevue, from the edge of Silver Springs. So you got some time before you guys are actually there. I believe that if you took the last couple hours, you could get short rests during that time, as there was not a whole lot happening. So if your character can benefit from a short rest, please take that now.
I didn't get
You three here do not get that just yet.
This is where you play Warlock.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys are now approaching the edge of Silver Springs. You see boats kind of parked along the side, and you see a fire kind of lit out as people have gone off the boat and then kind of created some sort of shelter. And you see some of the wizards and sorcerers kind of gathering individuals and kind of splitting up food that was there. And if we look at the Ocalia map, we have Silver Springs up at the top. The very top tip right corner, you have the shores. And Bellevue is a large city kind of on the edge of the land where the large sea meets this beautiful town. And you know that this is a major shipping town. Bellevue is. They receive a lot of fish and a lot of goods via sea travel, and they usher it through the channels, as there are 4 channels that hit from all the major cities towards the center, which is filled with a circle and kind of a body of water, and in the center of that body of water is an island. This is a major piece of the world Ocalian knows. This is a large portion of the shipments that people receive daily for their goods and supplies. So that's just a piece of information you guys now know or have always known. As your guys' boat gets to the edge of the water, what are you guys doing?
So you said there's like a bunch of wizards and everybody like
Correct. Some of the more strong-willed individuals have now maintained themselves and are taking order and kind of like helping corral.
We'd probably like be with them and like helping them like
Yeah.
maintain order. Like Cricket, like if there's any of like his party or like his people there, he'd be like taking stock and inventory of them.
Sure. Totally understood. Ben, what do you see yourself doing?
I feel like I'm just kind of following with them and like helping wherever I
Sure.
can.
Totally.
Yeah.
And E, same boat.
I think we should probably warn them about what Squirrel Boys saw too.
Perfect.
I really think we should let them know because like we could maybe combine our powers.
I love it, as it seems needed. from the
Yeah,
description.
yeah. I would hop off and be like, guys, what? I sent my squirrel boys way ahead and they saw something terrifying. But let's hang here for a rest and then maybe we won't be dying.
Excellent. If we had more time, we would get inspiration right now, but maybe that'll pick back up on next week. As this is where we will end today's session. You guys get on your boats and head into the river. That is where we'll pick up next week. As you guys are now corralling with individuals around this campfire, a mile and some change away from Bellevue, where you can now see a much more vivid stream of lights in the sky, kind of rays aiming directly down into the city of Bellevue, as you can hear periodically throughout the night screams of horror. That is where we'll end today's session.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you very much.
We don't want those.
Hey guys, before we leave, I want to just say thank you to everybody who came out and watched our first.
Thank you. It's all about you.
In our brand new studio, and I hope you guys all forgive us for the incompetency of the Tailspire that we've never used before.
Isn't it cool?
It's so cool.
That was pretty cool.
Cool.
That was pretty cool.
So we're gonna get better at that.
Best learners.
I know this was our longest one yet so far.
Nah.
Yeah, we're nearly on 4 hours.
Oh, wow. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. I do
It's almost
apologize.
11 o'clock.
I do
Some of us
apologize.
sleep.
I know. I'm so sorry. I did mention this would be a lot of exposition, guys. I do apologize.
No,
I'll
was
get
No,
back
it's
to
all
it.
good.
It was cool. I had a really good time.
It was worth it.
Good.
Great.
I'm glad you guys had fun. I hope you guys had fun. Join us next week if we have no more announcements.
Don't
Yeah, I
worry
just.
about this. Don't worry about the video. I want to work on it and actually make it like kind of funny.
Oh, you mean?
I have
Oh,
like a
there's a
silly
bopper.
1 minute one that I just threw together, but
Sorry,
I'd like to do
I
something
felt
for
your
you guys.
bopper
Cool.
under the
So I'd like
table.
to do for next week. Sorry.
So we'll have a really cool edit for you guys of the sparring match that happened right before we ended up playing, which made some of our players fairly sweaty for today's game. So
I
be
tried.
prepared for that. And please join us this Sunday at Brick City Adventure Park for Valiant Doors event. Just bring yourself, be prepared to sign a waiver, and have a crap ton of fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Hit him with the bopper.
Hit him with a bopper.
Hit him with the
Another
bopper.
And Santa
Bopper.
Paws.
Santa Paws
Just
on
one more time.
Wednesday, December 15th from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. Bring your pet supply donation or cash and your cute animal. Dress them up in little Christmas clothes. And if you don't have any, don't worry. They'll have some there available for a small donation fee as well.
Excellent. And that'll be in the description in the things below. Thank you, David. Much appreciated. And until next week, thank you guys.
Yay.